The entire world is in debt. America, 38 trillion. Europe, 14 trillion. Japan, 9 trillion. Even oil-rich countries are carrying trillions of dollars in debt. This immediately raises a question in our minds. If everyone is in debt, who is going to get this money? The strange answer is this. No one really owes anyone else. Everyone owes their own country. But that doesn't mean everyone benefits equally from this system. Debt is usually described as something harmful. But today, debt is not a harm. It has become the system itself. The economy we know today, wars, crises, booms, everything is built on debt. Let's start this story with Wall Street. In 1694, England was at war with France. The state had run out of money. The king went to merchants and said, "Give me money now, and I will pay you regular interest in the future." At that moment, something very important happened. The state began spending money it had not yet earned. And merchants turned the state's promise into something that could be bought and sold. Today we call this a government bond, and the modern financial system emerged from this. After that, every country started doing the same thing. France, the Netherlands, America. States that could borrow were seen as strong states. Empires used to conquer land for gold. Now they issue bonds for interest. When we come to today, the situation looks like this. All countries are in debt, yet each one is also a creditor. For example, most of America's debt is not owed to China. It is owed to its own people, to American banks, pension funds, and investment companies. Americans pay their taxes. With those taxes, the state pays interest on its debt. That interest moves back and forth and ends up again in American retirement accounts. So the money keeps circulating within the same loop. This is not true only for America. Japan lends to America. America lends to other countries through the IMF. Those countries then send the money back to America and Europe. Everyone has promised something to everyone else. This is a chain. And for the chain not to break, everyone has to keep playing the game. But there are real referees in this game. The markets, investors, funds, central banks. If they trust a country, that country can borrow cheaply. If they don't, the economy can collapse overnight. And the most critical point is this. Central banks do not only manage debt, they create it. When a central bank buys debt, it creates new money in return. That means every unit of money in circulation corresponds to a debt somewhere. There is no such thing as debt-free money. So, will these debts ever really be paid back? Short answer, no. States do not borrow to pay off their debt, but to constantly roll it over. Old debt is paid with new debt. This is not a loan. It's more like a subscription, and interestingly, the system wants it this way. Because if states fully paid off their debt, markets would lose their safest asset. If America eliminated its debt, the global economy would collapse. That's why no one wants debt to disappear. They just want it to be manageable. But there is one small detail. Interest payments are not distributed equally. Those who pay the debt are usually workers and taxpayers. Those who receive the interest are large institutions and capital owners. So debt is not only a transfer between countries, but also a transfer of money upward within society. That's why as debt increases, inequality increases as well. At the end of the system, there is no single villain. Not China, not America, not the IMF. We are all inside this system. Debt once meant bondage. Today it means balance. But if that balance ever breaks, everyone will remember what debt really is. A promise that must be kept, but cannot be kept forever. If you learn something new, subscribe, like, and share your questions in the comments. Let's learn history together.